Welcome into Falcons Today by Chat Sports. Matthew Peterson here with a different show than we usually have on the channel, as of course the biggest story right now in the NFL is Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. I'm sure we are all up to speed on everything that happened on Monday Night Football in Cincinnati as Hamlin suffered cardiac arrest and was transported to a local hospital and is currently in critical condition. Hamlin, we are all thinking of you right now. Our thoughts and our prayers are with you. And it's not just myself or Chat Sports, it's the entire NFL community, of course, here. I mean, just look at the sheer volume of love and support coming from all 32 NFL teams for Hamlin to the Buffalo Bills. The entire Bills organization, Bills Mafia, Hamlin's family, and their friends. If you haven't seen it on Twitter, for example, all 32 NFL teams changing their profile picture to this. Pray for Damar. And it's just so great to see this side of humanity come through and show continuous amount of support and love for Hamlin and his family during these extremely difficult times. Something I am proud to share here is the way that the NFL family has rallied around Hamlin. So I'm sure this number is going to continue to grow at an exponential rate, but SportsCenter tweeting out that the support for Damar Hamlin continues to pour in. The GoFundMe that Hamlin began in 2020 with the goal of raising $2,500 to help kids in his community has now reached more than $4 million from 150,000 plus donors. And by the time you're watching this, I wouldn't be surprised if that figure is closer to 5 million compared to 4 million. And I think it's also a great example and a great demonstration of just what an excellent young man Damar Hamlin is, who in 2020 in college is starting a GoFundMe to help local kids in his area. And now a huge impact is being made, and I hope Damar Hamlin is going to make a quick and full recovery. Hamlin, all of us here at Chat Sports and the entire NFL world right now is thinking of you, and our thoughts and prayers are with you to the fullest measure. Until we get more Damar Hamlin updates and news and whatnot, I do want to touch on the latest surrounding your Atlanta Falcons. And of course, when we know more about Hamlin, we will fill you guys in. But the Falcons did knock off the Arizona Cardinals in Week 17, and that's impacting their draft position. With Atlanta no longer in the playoff race, of course, once you're eliminated, you tend to start to shift towards the offseason, and the tank, of course, is on to try and get better draft position. So, following the win against the Cardinals, the Battle of the Birds, the Falcons are somewhere in the range of 6-9. So Kevin Knight breaking it down for you here. The Falcons, if the Bucs win and the Rams win, it's the 6th pick for the Falcons. It's the 7th pick if the Bucs win and the Rams lose. If the Falcons win and the Panthers or Raiders win, there's a lot of scenarios right there. The takeaway is they're in a nice range of 6-9. And so the win definitely had a big impact for Fontenot and this entire front office of where they plan to go not necessarily where they plan, but where they will be picking in the draft. The Falcons could have been in the top 5, which would have been very lucrative, especially if they felt they have something in Desmond Ridder and they wanted to trade back. You saw the Dolphins and the Niners strike a deal a couple of years ago where Miami felt confident. They moved back and they get 3 future first-round picks, and those 3 picks were turned into Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Bradley Chubb. So there are definitely some major benefits to feeling confident what you have right now in your quarterback and not needing to use a first-round pick on a QB. So happy Desmond Ridder got his first win. That's definitely a big pro. Still not 100% sold on Desmond Ridder is the future, which, to be honest, that's perfectly fine, right? I mean, I don't think all of us that were begging for Desmond Ridder to get a shot to play was because I felt that he's the QB of the future. No, I wanted to learn what the Falcons had in number 4. Against the Cardinals, 19 of 26, a $169. Not a fantastic QBR from ESPN, but a nice rating of 90.1. I mean, Ridder has progressed. If you look from his first start against the Saints to what he did in front of the home crowd for the first time, it's getting better by the start, sort of, at least from the QB rating side of things. But he's still chasing that elusive first touchdown, and hopefully that can come in Week 18. Speaking of Week 18, I don't think I can say that definitively. The NFL still monitoring, of course, the current ongoing situation with Hamlin, and that could impact the schedule. So stay tuned for that. Nothing is an absolute right now, although they did not say that these games would be postponed or canceled. So Ridder, let's get back on track here. Ridder improves again in Week 18. He will be the QB for 2023. I think. I'm not sold. I do think the Falcons are going to explore all options this offseason. Now, I think they might like their chances of Ridder competing with someone in 2023. But I think if Desmond Ridder ends the year getting better in 4 straight games, they're going to go into the offseason thinking this is our starting quarterback week 1. That, of course, very subject to change because the NFL draft is always a can of worms. You never know what to expect. Teams always make surprising moves. I don't think the Falcons even picking a quarterback would be terribly surprising. Now, let's talk about the running back position here. Tyler Allgeier. This is a spot where you definitely don't need to use a first-round pick on. Allgeier once again impressing in Week 17, and he is looking like the next Michael Turner, right? He is looking like the next consistent bell cow back for this Atlanta Falcons team. Against the Cardinals, 20 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. It's crazy to see how Allgeier went from a healthy scratch week 1 to this is the future running back for the next half decade plus. I mean, over the season so far, the fact that he's 100 yards from rushing for 1,000 yards in his rookie year, I mean, it really goes to show how he has turned it on as of late after not putting up fantastic numbers or big numbers early on in the season, the first quarter, the first 4 weeks or so. Now, another interesting tweet I saw that I thought you guys should see as well, coming up from Rise Up Ridder. Among NFL running backs, Falcons running back Tyler Allgeier is currently 16th in rushing yards. Of the running backs ahead of Allgeier, only one running back has less carries, tied with Tony Pollard, also underrated. Allgeier, Pollard, and Kenneth Walker are the only running backs in the top 16 who have not lost a fumble. The takeaway from this, Allgeier, where he is with the sheer volume of carries he's gotten so far, is just insane to think about, okay? And he has not coughed up the rock, so that is something that you love to see as well. We got some Falcons roster news to hit on right now, too. The Falcons released wide receiver Cameron Bateson, put him back to the practice squad. Practice squad player released. Bateson was arrested for crimes including aggravated assault against a law enforcement official. So that is the latest roster news right there. Bateson, that probably warrants getting released. Who are we kidding right now? I want to wrap up the show once again with expressing our deepest thoughts and prayers for Damar Hamlin, his family, his friends, and the entire Buffalo Bills organization. Damar, we are all thinking of you right now during these unprecedented times, and we are hoping that you will be able to make a full recovery.